French hostage killed by Al-Qaeda in response to French intervention.
An Austin Marathon runner shows the audience what success is made of. All this and more on Skills USA News starting now. This is Andrea.
And I'm Mitch.
French hostage in Mali was executed last Tuesday by Al-Qaeda during an Islamic Maghreb. The extremists destroyed many historic locations aiming to occupy a larger haven. Mauritania's news agency gathered that 6 other hostages are still in captivity. French involvement in the Malian began early January, and in response to the intervention, the execution was made. Families of the hostages have been contacted, and the ministry is doing everything possible to get those captives out safe.
Northerners are aware what difficulties winter can bring: snow, ice, and hazardous driving conditions. Last Thursday, a snowstorm was the source of a snowy car pileup, resulting in roughly 100 people receiving minor to moderate injuries in Alberta, Canada. The snowy conditions and smoke from the multitude of crashes caused long delays, as well as snowplow trucks to be removed off the road. Fortunately, most injuries were minor.
Perfect. Japanese Americans, European Americans, and resident immigrants have occupied the Honolulu internment camp since 1943. Not far from Pearl Harbor, this camp held 400 captured civilians and estimated 4,000 prisoners of war. This historic site will be managed by the National Park Service and memorialize the bravery and strength of the many individuals who face discrimination, and remind the future generations not to make mistakes that were in the past.
Kevin Garnett, the 2004 NBA MVP, who led the Wolves to 8 straight playoffs and has also played in 10 All-Star games, will be heading back to the Minnesota Wolves from the Nets. Now during his 20th NBA season, Garnett has said that he wanted to return regardless of the Wolves' last place standing in the Western Conference. Garnett is optimistic about the trade, mentioning that the head coach and assistant, Sam Mitchell, are great basketball minds that the league needs more of. Great news for Wolves fans.
Nokia has sent out Here cars to map roads in the U.S. using reality mapping. The maps will help driverless cars know every detail about the road that they're taking, specifically factors like how fast the car is turning.
Yeah, the Here cars have a GPS sensor that can track down the location of the car anywhere in the U.S. down to a centimeter.
Wow.
These technological innovations grew out of Nokia's purchase of map companies and their technology.
Lastly, stumbling for balance with less than a mile to go, Yvonne Neguet made a miracle save toward the finish line during the Austin Marathon. Acknowledging the short distance left, Neguet was determined to finish and began to crawl the 400 meters toward the finale. The audience cheered for her perseverance and victory despite her instability. She immediately received treatment for a blood sugar deficiency. Director of the marathon, Josh Connolly, decided to raise prize money for her accomplishment. Wow, what an amazing story.
Awesome.
All right, that is all for Skills USA News. This has been Andrea and Mitch reporting from District 7.
Thanks for tuning in.